First of all, welcome to the channel and thank you for stopping by. When time permits, please consider subscribing. I'd greatly appreciate it. This morning finds me just outside of Mount Holly Springs, Pennsylvania, which is the start of Section 5 on the MABDR. And we had about 5-10 minutes of pavement, and we've hit another beautiful Pennsylvania forest. The goal today is to make it through Section 5 and then probably Section 4, because of what I've read is Section 4 is almost entirely road miles and you can make them up quickly. And I'm already past the time I should be doing this, so I will see what I get done today. Now, I've seen virtually no one on these trails when I'm here, but this morning I just came upon this first road that has gravel on it, and what's coming off but a fully loaded DR 650. 20 some odd years later, it's still the bike of choice for many people to get out there and do things. He wasn't as overpacked as I am though, so he's a little bit brighter than me. It is a 84 degree and muggy morning, and it was really hard to be wearing this climb jacket until I got here in the forest. It is so much nicer to have this cover. I'm hoping this stays because it's just getting hotter. I looked at the weather this morning and there's like this high heat index and warning all over the East Coast. And I'm riding right in the middle of it, so the more shade I can have, the better. So far, this road reminds me a lot of some of the nice, fast, fun ones on Section 6. You can just twist the throttle, nice turns here and there. A little bit washboardy, but that's fun too. We actually had a tornado warning last night, but I mean, it rained, but there's not much here. The puddles are full, but nothing seems overly wet. It certainly didn't break the humidity. We've switched from packed pavement to gravel, and this is pretty slippery and it's actually a lot of fun. The road says travel at your own risk. I don't know if it's quite that gravelly, but it's a nice change from the dirt we've had. This is definitely reminding me of Section 6 in that it is a fast moving dirt or gravel road. You don't really need to slow down too much as long as you're comfortable with that sort of thing. I mean, the bike feels like it's going to go wherever it wants to, but it's tracking very nicely on the Dunlop tires. Trail Max Mission are definitely made for gravel. Track straight. Well, we're a couple hours into Section 5, and I gotta say, it's great. So far, it's been mostly gravel or dirt. Been a lot of great climbs, a lot of great downhills after those climbs, and you're always moving. The elevation changes really do make it good for me. The only negative I would say is the deer are back. I haven't seen this since 8, but it seems like every 4 or 5 minutes a deer just leaps across the road, paying no attention to the motorcycle at all. I guess they're just desensitized by them by now. But that is keeping my speed down. The roads are definitely packed enough that you could do 55 or more if you wanted to, but I'm keeping it down to around 30 because I really do not want to run into a deer as big as me, and some of the ones jumping in front of me absolutely are as large as I am, and that would be a bad time for both of us. There's also a ton of suicidal squirrels. I've seen at least a half a dozen poor squirrels that did not make it yesterday. I'm assuming somebody hit them with their motorcycle. Ugh. So far I haven't killed any, but we'll see. Welcome to the end of what Section 5 and unfortunately Section 4 have to offer if you are looking for a beautiful ride through the countryside. This is the very end of the first half of Section 5 going north to south, and it is a breathtakingly beautiful forest, just a joy to ride through. Unfortunately, that's going to soon change, as is the tone of this video. Until this point, I have had a fantastic time. This beginning of Section 5 is just as good as Section 6. It's just wonderful to ride on. But unfortunately, the second half of Section 5 to the south is going to quickly turn into pavement. And that pavement is pretty much going to stay that way with a couple of small, very short sections that do have gravel all the way through Section 4. And it's very unfortunate because this is going to go from a beautiful forested ride to hours of pavement. So I came out of the beautiful forests of Pennsylvania, hopped on a highway for maybe a half a mile, and then my Zumo XT let me know that it was time to put a helmet back on. Not that I ever take my helmet off. So I've stumbled into Maryland and just run through a little bit of Maryland farm country. And it looks like this is going to be our first off pavement. Yeah, oh boy. Speak properly, Frank. In my defense, I am tired, hungry, and probably dehydrated. According to my wife, who talked to me a little while ago, it was already 91, so that's great. Whew, back in the shade. All right, let's do some Maryland. This is my third one of these roads here in Maryland. They're fairly loose dirt with covering of gravel that gets pushed off to the side, and they're a lot of fun to ride on. The only downside is it's pretty much a one-lane road, and there are cars all over the place. These are residential areas, so you can't really go very fast on them or you're going to run into somebody's car. But it's a beautiful little forest. Wish there were more of these. I gotta say, since I got into Maryland, it's probably 75% pavement, and it's a baking hot day under the sun, so whew, bring on more of these. So, it's been a few weeks since I finished Section 5 and Section 4, and I did kind of a close at the time, but it was really not great. I had a less than ideal time on 5 and on 4, and what happened was by the time I got to the end of it, it was 95 degrees. I had just spent 6 hours on pavement, and to say the least, I was not having a good day. So I decided to not use that. I've been struggling, and I really can't find anything at all positive to say about Section 4. And so I'm not going to say anything other than you will be on pavement, it will be in traffic, it will be in residential areas. You kind of got to do it if you're coming from 3 to get to 5, or if you're going from 5 to 3. You got to do it. Personally, if I was doing it again, I would skip it. I would get on the highway. I would go right around section 4 and just not touch it. But let's talk about section 5. Section 5 deserves a little better than I gave it credit for in the video earlier and in the closing I did that I'm going to toss. Section 5 inside of Pennsylvania is great. It is the same gravel as section 6. The roads are twisty when you're on them. It's pretty good. It's enjoyable. The top half of section 5 I found to be a lot of fun. The problem with section 5 is once you get out of Pennsylvania, you're literally dropped in a residential area where children are playing ball on the streets and riding their bikes. I passed women pushing strollers, and it just felt like I was intruding in their neighborhood. I really was. I'm here riding my big motorcycle with all my stuff on it, and there are other guys riding through a residential neighborhood with kids trying to enjoy it, and I felt really badly about that. I don't know if there was any way to do it better, but that was unexpected, and I felt like I was intruding. And as soon as I got there, I was pretty much in a residential area for an hour and a half. And we're talking 2-lane roads, houses along the side, slow drivers. I think I may have included the footage of where I'm behind a pickup truck and a water truck for a long time. It was anything but enjoyable. Maybe a different time of day, but I don't know. It's a residential area and it's got all the traffic you expect in a residential area. But that's section 5. Half of it's going to be great, half of it's going to be not wonderful. But at least half of it is great. Once you get to 4, oh hell, goes out the window completely. I hate to be negative, but I just can't say anything better than that. Top half of section 5, enjoy. Once you're not on that, try to get to 3. Well, if you stayed this long, I apologize for the video. There was just not much I could do. I didn't film very much because it was just a residential area. House row after row, traffic after traffic. Not my idea of fun. Half of section 5, all of section 4. If you can skip it, by all means skip it. All right, if you stuck around, thank you. I do appreciate it, and take care.